Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Shalom to my hopeful elect elder brother over here at my congregation, Shariad. Shalom to all you hopeful elect elders out there, those of you of the Israelite nation who rule well, namely the hopeful elect elder apostles over at the Great Millstone Church. Peace and many blessings be to all you hopeful elect men out there, those of you of the Israelite nation scattered amongst the earth, namely you hopeful elect brothers that I personally labor with. Likewise, peace and many blessings be to the rest of the 1/3, to all you true believers out there of the Israelite race. Sirach chapter 2, the 7th verse, ye that fear the Lord. And we're going to pause here real quick. And as always, that be who this message is out to. The hopeful elect of the Israelite race. The Israelites being us so-called black people, as we're called today, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indian people that are scattered amongst the earth. We are the Israelites. We are God's chosen people. And for those of our race, of our nation, who have come into this truth, thus have come on upon this path, this way, which according to the scriptures is called the straight gate. And the straight gate is the way, simply put, the lifestyle, the path that leads unto life, which is going to be true life in the kingdom of heaven. All right, and the kingdom of heaven is simply this earth when it's ruled by us Israelites in our correct state of mind, serving the Heavenly Father in righteousness. So once again, Sirach chapter 2 and 7 says, ye that fear the Lord. So the fear the Lord is coming into the true knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And you do so and learn what that is through learning the true doctrine of the scriptures, the true doctrine of the Bible. And therefore, you coming into this truth, coming into this knowledge and wisdom and showing forth your fear through your actions, through you abiding by the Lord's command, according to what he established to be righteousness, what he described to be a righteous Israelite, not leaning on your own understanding, what you may believe or what you want to believe, but completely understanding this doctrine and going forth to fulfill it through your life, through your lifestyle, through your ways. So Sirach 2 and 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. All right. We're being told to wait for the Lord's mercy. Why? Because currently we are living in a wicked world that's under a wicked rulership, and that wicked ruler being the so-called white man, as we call him today. His true identity, according to the scriptures, is Edom, the nation of Edomites. That's who these so-called white people are, and they're the people that the Heavenly Father hates, according to the scriptures, according to the book of Malachi in the 1st chapter, according to the book of Romans in the 9th chapter. All right, and he hates them because they rule this world wickedly, complete opposition to the Heavenly Father. And their world is written to come to an end, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for his mercy, and that mercy is going to be us being beamed up on those chariots, delivered out of what is coming to this earth, which is much destruction, and is namely going to happen here in America. So let's come here really quick to the book of Matthew, St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end. That's what we are currently doing. That's how we are waiting this out. We're enduring. And enduring means to make yourself hardened to what's going on here in this world, and not being, not befalling to the wickedness, staying out of it. All right. Once again, enduring. But he that shall endure unto the end, and the end is the key word here. The end is the so-called white man's world coming into an end. The end of his rulership, his reign here on this earth. That's what the end is. The earth will abide forever. The kingdom of heaven will be established here on this earth, and it's going to abide forever. So it's not the end of the earth, but the end of the so-called white man's world. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So that's what we're waiting on, to be saved. That's the mercy that we must await for. Ye that fear the Lord. Sirach 2 and 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. So that's going to bring us back here to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14. We'll start right at the top. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Yeah, the Lord's going to have mercy on his chosen people. All right. And ultimately, this is going to go to the elect of the Israelite race, those who are truly fearing the Heavenly Father, because it's a requirement to fear the Heavenly Father in sincerity and in truth. All right. So those true believers, those who actually are going to fulfill what it is to fear the Heavenly Father, are who's going to receive that mercy. It's not going to be all of Israel, but his elect. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. So that's that mercy. First and foremost, getting beamed up on those chariots. All right, our bodies are going to be changed before we get on those chariots. And ultimately, we're going to go and be set in our own land. And that's Israel. And that's where we're going to rule and govern this earth from in our correct state of mind. Serving the Heavenly Father, ruling in righteousness. So that's the mercy that we are seeking. Sirach 2:7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside. Yeah, we're being told here to go not aside from the way, from the path that we have been shown, which is what we learned through fearing the Heavenly Father. We have to stay on the straight and narrow. We have to keep our eye focused on the goal that is at hand. And that's first and foremost being beamed up on those chariots, but ultimately taking our kingdom, receiving our kingdom by staying on this straight and narrow way. All right. It says, and go not aside. You can't go aside out of this way. You can't be double dutching on this path. You have to stayed on the reality that's in front of us, which is us enduring in this current world that we are completely opposed to. We're not making investments here. We're not looking to have longevity here. We're not buying into the so-called white man's ways, his world, trying to be ball players and actors and celebrities and rappers. No, we don't want that. We don't want his cars. We want chariots. We don't want his money. We want him. You see? Sirach, Slakia, 2 Ezra 7:3, it says, and I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. And the sea is describing the kingdom of heaven, like a sea that is super deep and ultimately unfathomable how deep and far it goes. To search it out, that's how the kingdom of heaven is. That's what it's likened it to, a sea. It says that it might be deep and great because it's full of all your heart's desires. In the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites are going to have all of the riches, all the resources of the earth. All right, so we're going to be super abundant. The point is verse 4, though. It says, but put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. So the entrance that we have to go through is narrow, all right? So we don't have too much slipping room. The straight gate has been set up. It's a narrow way. It's full of obstacles, but you got to get through them. That's what we are enduring through right now. Verse 5 says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? Because that's what we're going to do in the kingdom, rule. It says, if he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So it's a requirement that you have to endure. It's a requirement that you have to go through the narrow. Thus, you forsaking this current world, not getting your consolation on this side, not trying to be, Mr. Big on this side, the boss, have everything. We're supposed to be meek. We're supposed to be lowly. We're supposed to be assuming a position of being the low in this world so we can receive what's to come in our world to come. Because if you accept everything in this world, you're not going to get what's in the world to come. You're going to be last in that world. So you have to go through this way to receive that. It's required. Sirach 2:7, once again, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside. Yeah, you were told not to go aside. Proceed on the straight gate. Don't fall from it. Keep your eye on the prize. And it says, lest ye fall. And those who fall aren't going to enter into the kingdom. Those who fall out this truth, those who go out to establish their own righteousness, those who aren't fearing the Lord, truthfully. Back to 2 Ezra chapter 7. And we go start at verse 6. It says, there is also another thing, right? It says, a city is builded, the same city, the kingdom of heaven, is set upon a broad field, a wide field, and is full of all good things. That's the kingdom. That's what we have come into this truth to receive. But we have a way to go till we get there. It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. All right. So it's set up to fall. It's set up with many, distractions. It's set up with many lures that by the so-called white man, because the devil doesn't want you to receive what you have coming for you. Therefore, he wants to distract you. He wants to lead you on in the world and make you think he can make you rich. But you're already rich if you have and understand this doctrine, this truth, and are walking accordingly to it if you're an Israelite. For once again, Sirach 2 and 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. That's part of it. And go not aside, lest ye fall. You don't want to fall. So we'll close this out here in the book of 2nd Ezra 7 and verse 7. And it says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. So you've been warned that it's set up that you may fall. It's a narrow way. You have to stay on it. It says, like as if there were fire on the right hand and on the left, deep water. And that's what happens when you fall into the world. You either go get burned or you go drown, but it's the same. So you have to keep your eye stayed on the goal at hand, which is to receive that kingdom, receive salvation, get beamed up on those chariots. So we'll close this out here in the book of Galatians in the 6th chapter, in the 16th verse. It reads, and as many as walk according to this rule, the elect of the Israelite race, those who walk accordingly to the rule, according to what the Heavenly Father has set out in front of us as the straight gate, as the way that's going to lead into life. It says, peace be unto them. And we're going to find peace when we see that salvation, when we're saved, when we receive that mercy. When we actually have a kingdom that's ours. And we're going to rule in righteousness. That's all going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. It says in mercy. There's that word, mercy. Once again, we're going to receive mercy, that deliverance, us given the kingdom. It says, and upon the Israel of God. And this is going to happen to those who fear the Lord. And ultimately, those who are actually going to be fearing the Lord, thus keeping his command, are the elect. The Lord's elect is who he wants. That's who he's going to save. So I'm just going to say, Lord will, you are edified. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.